And welcome, my little crumpets, to the very first episode of Rob Collects. Now basically this is going to be a pickup series on everything I've kind of picked up in the last month or so. It's going to be video games, video game related stuff, kind of nerdy things that interest me really. And I'll kind of just be talking about it, anything that really just is worth sharing, anything about talking about, why I'm adding something into my collection, you know, why this is my favorite series, things like that. It's not always going to have the same format. It's kind of something I want to play around with and see what's the best way it works, you know, what people like to see and stuff like that. So, let's get started. Alright, so let's get started with MAGfest. Now, last year was the second time I've gone. I had a blast. Went to tons of cool panels, played tons of video games, beat Metal Slug, because it's bored. But anyway, I did pick up some things. Not a whole lot of stuff that I picked up for the collection, just a few kind of cool things, but they're worth talking about anyway. The first game is Terranigma. Now, this is a repro cart, which basically means it's reproduced. Terranigma was never released in the US, which was kind of cool. This is by the bros at 8-Bit Revolution. They do a lot of other repro stuff, ROM hacks as well, stuff that's not really been released officially in the US or North America, just kind of stuff that you can kind of, are hard to find. So that's kind of cool. I haven't had a chance to play it. I am looking forward to it though, because I do enjoy me some Square RPGs, so there's that. On top of that, like I said, I went to a few panels. One of them was for Gaming Moe, Kusoge type of games, which basically just means bad games in Japanese, Kusoge. So at the panel, Zero-chan was doing a kind of crowd interaction type of thing where she let some people from the audience come up and play the different games. And I played a horrible fighting game, which was pretty much a ripoff of King of Fighters. I basically lost, but I did make a great comeback. So, and in, I guess, a reward, I got Arcana. I have no idea what type of game this is. It looks like it's Western RPG-ish, so that's going to be cool to play. We'll see about that. The next thing I got from a friend of mine, Adam. He was originally going to give this to the Grumps, the Game Grumps, but he decided to give it to me, which is really cool. It's Trauma Team for the Wii. I have the first Trauma Team for the Wii. I don't have this one, obviously, until now. So I'm kind of excited to try it. I just played a little bit of the DS one a long time ago when that came out, so I haven't really tried much of the Wii ones. But this is kind of cool, and it's 2-player, so I'll have to try that at some point. And finally, I have a little small, I guess, Metal Gear Solid collection. Just trying to pick up all of the Metal Gear games that have been released officially in the US. And this one I have not seen in town, so I'm glad to pick it up. And it's the Metal Gear Solid VR missions for the PS1. So it was kind of cool. I know in Japan they released kind of like a substance version of Metal Gear Solid 1 that did have the VR missions, but unfortunately in the US it was released separately. So it's kind of cool to pick it up. Like I said, I haven't seen it here, but it's pretty nice to actually have, you know, a physical copy of that one. So, speaking of Metal Gear, up next we're going to take a look at some of the other Metal Gear games that I picked up. Alrighty, and like I said, let's take a look at some of the Metal Gear games I've picked up in the last month. Now, there aren't many of them. Like I said, it's still kind of bringing up a little bit. I have quite a few of the PS2 games, a few of the PSP games, which are a little bit trickier to track down. But so far, it's going pretty good. The first game is Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. I was able to finally find the non-greatest hits version, which is a weird thing that I care about. This was actually the last non-greatest hits version at the Target by my house, which was kind of a cool pickup. I kept seeing it and didn't want to ask for it, and then eventually they kind of just put it in the clearance bin, so $20, not bad. The next one, which felt a little bit harder to find, that I kind of just found at CD Exchange, and that is Metal Gear Acid 2. I was expecting to pay out the ass for this. I think it was only like 20 bucks, which is pretty cool. Only downside is it doesn't have the manual, which is something I'll have to track down. But otherwise, I'm pretty glad that I got the game itself. So, one step down. So for the PSP, I think I am only missing Portable Ops Plus. So that's kind of cool. But speaking of PSP, we'll go on to the next PSP game that I picked up, and that is Me and My Katamari. I used to have this a while ago when it first came out, and I traded it in idiotically, which is a lot of my games. But I kind of like this for like a portable entry. It was basically the greatest hits versions of the first two games for the PS2, which was kind of cool. The original print had like a map or something, but this one didn't. 20 bucks, so again, I kind of expected to pay out the ass for this, but $20 seems to be good spot for PSP games. It kind of feels like they're harder to collect for. Usually it's just the game itself, because with any portable title it feels like people just throw away the case. But complete and pretty good condition too. The next one is actually not for PSP, but it was a PSP game originally, and it's actually my first import game for the Vita, and that is Bakumatsu Rock Ultra Soul. Bakumatsu Roku Ultra Soul, which is my horrible mangling of the Japanese. Okay, so basically what type of game it is a rhythm game, which is kind of why I picked it up. I don't really like to pick up import games unless they're easy to play without knowing the language. Rhythm games are immensely easy for this. Fighting games, unfortunately, out of a lot of RPGs, I don't pick up, even if I want to play them, just because hard to get. But anyway, Bakumatsu Rock is essentially a rhythm game, like I said before, but it takes place in ancient Japan, and instead of warlords, all of the important people of this history, I don't remember what period of Japan's history, they're essentially idols. So that's a little bit weird. I played a little bit of it so far, and it's okay. A little, not as fun as I was hoping. Gameplay is pretty simplistic. I'll kind of throw up some gameplay here because I can. So yeah, it's okay. Gameplay isn't as interesting as something like Hatsune Miku, or even something like DDR. It's pretty simplistic, but it has its challenges. This one's kind of fairly simple overall. I've just been playing on normal, so I'm just kind of getting used to the timing and stuff, which is my biggest hurdle for rhythm games, is the timing. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I pretty much recommend it. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of silly, so if you like silly rhythm games, that's it. Next up is a PS3 game that I used to have. Played it up to a point, which was still pretty early on, and I got stuck, and I was like, fuck this, and traded it in, but I picked it up pretty cheap, and that is Heavenly Sword. Gameplay's alright. I mean, it's been called Goddess of War, which, kind of true. But honestly, the best part of the game is the main antagonist, whose name I don't remember right now. King Bohan, actually. It's on the back of the box. And yeah, he was like fucking hilarious. And that's the main reason I kind of wanted to finish this, was to see more of him. So hopefully I'll kind of get back to it and push on past where I got stuck. It just, I don't know. I guess it was the wrong time. But yeah, it was actually kind of fun. Not, oh my god, it's the best thing ever, but it was enjoyable. But speaking of PS3 games, I am I don't want to say huge Naruto fan. Not as much now as it used to be anyway. But I still like picking up the games. I was able to pick up Ultimate Ninja Storm Revelations, Generations. I already had Revelations. Ha! And Ultimate Ninja Storm 3 Full Burst. I played the original Ultimate Storm 3. I liked it a lot. I like the cutscenes a lot. They were kind of cool. This is basically how I'm catching up to the Naruto stories, by playing the games. I stopped reading the manga a few years ago, and then I just kind of pick up the games just to kind of fill me in, since I think they're about where the anime was, and like where the manga was, so that's kind of cool. Obviously, I think Generations is a little bit older than 3. I haven't played this one too much. It's kind of basically Shippuden and regular Naruto kind of mixed in together, which is kind of cool. I haven't played this one. I have played the original version of 3, so that's going to be fun to play when I get to it. Anyway, and so we go to the last game. I'm a little bit hesitant to show this off, just because I may do a video on it later, but not in the immediate future, so it may as well be worth talking about. No regrets. Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric. It was on sale. I've seen tons of people talk about it, and it looks hilariously broken, and that's, I think, why I love this type of game. Like I said, when I was at MAGfest, I went to the Kusoge panel, which is basically talking about, you know, B-movie type games, and that's kind of what I enjoy, is like games that are so bad they're enjoyable, and that's why a lot of my videos are what they are, instead of like hitting like, oh my god, this is horrible type of thing. It's kind of fun to talk about like why something is wrong, why despite all its flaws it's still really fun. And yeah, I am actually kind of looking to dig into Sonic Boom myself. It's weird because it looks like it has a bit of polish, but at the same time horribly broken. I am a Genesis kid. I never had a Super Nintendo growing up, so that's kind of why I'm partial to Sonic games. And just really Sonic in general. So I'm gonna still keep on picking up Sonic games. I'm part of the problem, as long as they're good. And if they're bad, I still get them, I guess. I haven't really liked the Sonic games since Generations, and before that, I think Sonic Adventure 2. I've tried to play all of the ones that have been released that aren't like kitschy titles, like was it Sonic Riders? Yeah, that one Kinect game. Just, you know, weird stuff like that, because I prefer like the more platformy type games. I played a little bit of Sonic 4, which was but yeah, Sonic will always have my interest. I'm a Sega kid, what can I say? So, there you have it. That is the first episode of Rob Collects. Like I said, I'll keep on, these videos are pretty much easy for me to put together and throw something up on my YouTube channel. You know, so it'll be stuff that I like to go over, like I said, stuff that I like to talk about for whatever reason. I did pick up some other things that just weren't as interesting, such as Mario and Luigi Dream Team. Never played a Mario Luigi game. It was on sale. See, I don't really have anything to talk about on that one. But it's just kind of stuff that I really like, or just want to spotlight. If I feel like I bought something that I can make a review, I probably won't talk about it. Except for Sonic Boom, because it's fucking Sonic Boom. There's a lot to discuss about Sonic Boom. But yeah, it'll be kind of stuff there. I may not do the same type of format. I may do something a little bit different next time. Maybe go over things that, like, just show off like full series that I've picked up over the years, or, you know, just kind of like talk about certain things, you know, why I like a certain thing over something else, why it's something that I have a complete collection of, is my favorite series, things like that. So, yeah, just take a look there. You know, since I'm kind of fine-tuning this, if anyone has any comments as far as, you know, if they would actually like to see gameplay. I know this feels a little bit dry without gameplay, but, you know, I just want to see what works well and kind of go from there. But I hope you enjoyed this premiere episode of Rob Collects. Catch you on the flip side. Thank you for watching my video, my little crumpets. If you've enjoyed this video, then you may want to subscribe, which will let you know when I have more videos, which are coming, I promise. To tide you over, you can take a look at some of the other videos that I've made, and also you can take a look at my Facebook and Twitter, where I will be posting things on the internet. Yeah, because that's a good place for posting of things. Well, and a posting board, bulletin board, whatever.